Hey guys, Thomas from Team Sakuraso here, coming at you guys with another brand new spanking market watch for you boys today. And we have a lot of cards to go over. Some cards I wish I mentioned in my last market watch, but that was a cover the ban list market watch. So I always like to make the next ones a little bigger. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Cards people are not going over at all. And we're going to get right into this here. All I'm going to ask you guys before we get into the goodness, the buyouts, the sweetness, the pickups, and the everything, smash that like button. Guys, 100 likes on this video, that'd be great. It takes you a few seconds to hit that like button. Unless you're like me, whenever I watch YouTube, I actually automatically like the video and then watch the video. I'm a bit weird like that. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you to new subs who have chosen to give me a chance as well. Hey, just because you're subbed doesn't mean I can't thank you. Just because I got you as a subscription doesn't mean I can't stop thanking you, right? If you're buying any cards off TCG Player, use my link down in the description below. Helps out the channel to no additional cost to you. Check out Whatnot. Use my link. You get $15 on your next purchase to maybe buy some Goblin Biker cards like on screen or anything else. They do more than just Yu-Gi-Oh! It's awesome. And check out Tapio cards. Use Kosaki, 5% off. Awesome Yu-Gi-Oh! Merchandise. So, Momento Goblin Biker actually ended up getting first at Houston. This was very, very shocking to me. And I think that Goblin Biker is definitely going to be a fan favorite that sticks around now because it was already a very popular deck among like niches and crowds, even way after it released, and without even the meta really counting Goblin Bikers as a deck. Now your Doug Chargers are 13 going up to $15. This card was always a lot of money because not only did a lot of people want this and play it at 3, but it missed the reprint cycle. Phantom Nightmare's been reprinted a lot. Goblin Bikers remained untouched. It's something I don't really like about Konami. Sometimes they'll just skip over archetypes. The QC today has not shot up as much as I thought it would have. Today, they're about $46 here. I told people to get it around 25, 26. The graph actually shows, yeah, about 26 bucks here for your QCs. You have the grand entrance QCs at about 40 bucks here, which I believe these have been about 40 for a little while, so this card hasn't shot up as much. However, the base secret rare has at about $14, 15, 20 bucks right over here. This card was solid 8 bucks here. Now it's shot up. I think, again, like I said earlier, if you want Goblin Bikers, you want to play maybe say the Memento deck list with it, I would just wait till they calm down. I really think it was a pilot thing more so. Although I definitely think Goblin Biker is definitely a deck that I would like to see meta again. I really liked how it played personally. Grand Biker Big Gabonga. Man, isn't it great? Summon Gabonga. That's just such a fun word to say. QCs today are 32 going up to $38 today. So pretty awesome. In fact, I actually met some subscribers that not only said hi to me, but one of them wanted this on my trade binder. Bro, you got Team Sakuraso. Now, a lot of people could say, oh, I got these at 20. Like, I told people 20 was way too cheap for this. Now they're about 32 going up to 38 here. But hey, getting one off your boy for cheap, that's a good play. Jokes aside, though, I always love trading with my subs. Always come up to me at these events. Even if you don't want to trade and say hi, I love seeing your beautiful face. Secrets are about 8 bucks here. Not going up to about 10. Not too bad, honestly, but this card was literally, I think, like, yeah, it shows like $5 here, but we showed this at 3 bucks on the channel, so pretty cheap here. Mementos here. You got your QC Tectulia. Now, before I go into this, remember, we are getting reprints of, I believe, Angel Witch and Bone Party next week, so there's no reason to rush out and grab these cards, especially when they're already bought out. Your QC 75 today. This card was always around 30 bucks here. In fact, it shows 25, so it's gone up quite a bit. The CR is $40 with no listings, which is insane. Funny fact is, one of my friends said, oh, I ended up selling this after the list for, I forgot what number he said, but he just had this in his trade binder forever. Nobody wanted it until the ban list, and he wanted to just trade off for whatever. Ultras are 20 bucks here. That's a lot for this. This card was as cheap as a buck. Yeah, $2, $3. You see that right there. I told people 3 bucks is not that bad because we don't know what else is getting reprinted, and anything that doesn't get reprinted, Memento wise, is going to go up. We have the same rule for Fiendsmith as well. Whenever an archetype gets half reprinted, the value is just going to the other half. It's not really being worth a lot of money. It's not, you're not saving money on reprints the way with Konami's style, and I really don't like that at all. Because if you're gonna reprint an archetype, reprint an archetype. Don't reprint half of it just so that players can be like, oh, instead of spending $300 on the archetype, I'm spending $295, and that $295 isn't going to 10 cards, it's going to 5 because all the other cards went up. So it's just, there's no point. Angewitch here is like 14, going up to 20 bucks here. We'll see this for like a few bucks, within a week or two, which, by the way, I'll be having my case opening stream this week for Stampede. Look forward to it. Bone Party, $17. I mean, if people want to buy out cards we're getting reprinted this week, I mean, I know that, you know, Jay says Billy Bob. Personally, I like to say crackheads. I like to say natural selection. Those are my words of choice, and I generally mean it. Some people are just meant to lose in life, and nobody likes to win if it means winning over others. But sometimes people are just going to lose, and you can either laugh at it or you could feel sorry for them. But sometimes they just do it to themselves. If people are buying Memento Party at $18, we have a reprint in, what, 7 different rarities in like less than a couple days, and it's common knowledge. It's not leaks. It's confirmed, all that. It's been common knowledge for a while. You know, what can I do? What can you really say to those people besides, you know, CR Angewitch, 45, 50 bucks here. Card was always around this price, it looks like, so not too bad. Darkblade, now this is a card that a lot of people don't know, is at $4 here. If you open up any Valiant Smashers, which, guys, I opened up 2 cases, guys, you're sitting on some money right now. So I would definitely go ahead, and if you have Darkblades, I would be moving them ASAP. Dude, I love when 25-cent bulk becomes $4 or $5. Granted, I did go over this card when it was a solid $1 before, so. Unchained Soul of Yama. A lot of people are looking at Unchained. They're like, wow, the Shirava the 2 is really cool. But they're not really thinking about the implementations of, or this, what they can do. Example being is like, hey, because of a Shirava going to 2, Unchained can go up. Same with Yubel, right? A lot of people aren't considering Yubel as a deck right now, even though the deck is quite strong still. Secrets right now are $6, going up to $10 here. So the card is going up quite a bit. The Ultras, you got 7s here, and then you got 10, 12, $20 for your Unchained Soul Lord of Yama. Insane to me. QCs right now are $77. 80, go up to 120, 130. I personally think QCs are not a bad price. I talked about it when they were 60s. Now, yesterday we saw the QCs about 70, 71, and now we're seeing 77, going up to $80 here. Now, getting this QC at 60 was the play, but if you get at 80, well, you did spend a lot for Yama, but Yama was not a card that's been that as cheap as I saw it at 60 ever since like the first couple weeks of Duelist Nexus, because Duelist Nexus wasn't really that great of a set, but it kind of went for a pretty wild ride overall when it came to the QC prices. A lot of the QCs were definitely up and down. In fact, you could even see some of them are on low listings right now. We'll even pull up a few, add some cards to the market watch. We already got Tistana, baby. You saw the thumbnail. Sunfoil, 46, 47, but this card's been money for a while. Angelica, a card that we have talked about, which, by the way, if you want to keep track of this or the cards I say, guys, check out our sponsor, TCG Creator. It is in the description below and the pinned comment. Not only do I have all the cards I have going over my market watch, but whenever you click one of these cards, you know, let's just click, you know, random this. It uses my affiliate link. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, go check it out. You can make your own lists. It's wonderful. Angelica, shout out to my boy Jimmy Ha. We both absolutely love this artwork. I think it looks great. I wish they made more cards with this type of artwork, and I do love a waifu card that doesn't have fan service. I love fan service as well, boys, but I actually like elegance. That's why I like Rika a lot too. $38 today. Well, 31 if you want a cheaper copy, 38. This card wasn't going to be that 17, 18 for long. I told people, hey, if you want to grab your copies, go ahead. 31, 38 goes up to 60s, $90 over here for your copies. So if you got this, good job. I think Fire Warrior is definitely, especially Infernoble, is a deck that has some potential in the future, either with future support or maybe they get, you know, one smoke grenade back. That is possible, but you never know. Tistana got some new support, and I told people whenever the OCG gets our archetypes, they usually give them new support because the way the TCG makes their exclusives isn't usually the best. We've seen it with Spiral and Double Helix before. Right now, your demigods are about $38.9, $40, $42, going up to $60 here. Was as cheap as $13. So if you got this, it tripled. The spell, which was about $7-8 here. 20, 24s, 25 going up to 40. You got Crystal got Tistana, 23 going up to $56 all the way there. And these were about 14. The Demigod was definitely more bang for your buck there. But that card is because it's one of the best cards in the archetype. And I actually played this with Cash, and it was a lot of fun. My boy Jason also played it. I don't know. Tistana, Cash, if you want to play a fun deck, yo, there it is, man. And sometimes their levels are not the best for, they're not level 7s, but they're still pretty cool. It has some more synergy than you think. The boss monster, which a lot of people were very disappointed in this boss monster. I think it's a lot better than people give it credit for. It's not as good as people want it to be, but it's not as bad as people make it out to be. $10 goes up to 15, 16. This card hasn't moved as much, but 11 listings from Agov. That personally scares me because Agov is what? How much for a sealed box today? 200. Huh, not as bad. 133, but guys, this was a set that was sold out everywhere. Easily the best set of 2024. Excluding, I guess, rarity collections. Little Knight QC here is $295, goes up to $325, $337, all the way up to $400, $450. I think a Little Knight is definitely a card that could scale upwards, maybe hit that $500, $600, $700 mark if people allow it to. But for now, you got $320, $300. We also have the Plats as well. So if the QC ever gets expensive, the Plats, we could be looking at a $30, $40 Platinum. And that's pretty insane. In fact, let's look at what the plat is today. Let's see. Plats are about $17 here. Again, not that bad. I mean, you have a good chance of pulling this, which is nice. Your OG secrets are about $12 here. There was as cheap as like the graphs. Yeah, the graph does show it $7 here. Goes up to about 12, 13. I think OG Little Knights are very good at this price as well. Just in case you don't like plat, your OG at 12, 13 is definitely something that not only looks awesome, but can go up in the future. And hey, a lot of people are like, it's not all about the money, but look, sometimes as a player myself, if I get some cards and I get the max rarity and it goes up to a price I think is either ridiculous, too much than I like it about. For example, let's say I like a QC, I get it, and it goes 5x, and I'm like, wow, this QC is great, but nowhere worth 5x, I would move it, and I'd get the budget version. So you can always come back and get a super rare, right? And then that super pays for itself and more, and then you can buy more cards, and you can feed the March addiction. Or, addicted to the brown. I know one of yours. There you go. I said addicted to the brown. Whoever, to the multiple people who say addicted to the brown in my comments, there you go. I said it, okay? I'm a family guy. Wanted. Seeker of sinful spoils here. A lot of people have hype for Snake Eye. You got 191 here, 195. Also, smash that like button if you haven't hit the like button yet. Thank you to those who have hit the like button. 100 likes on this video, that'd be great. Yeah. Card has been going pretty insane. I personally would be very happy with a plat. In fact, let's look at what the plats are. This is definitely too much money for my blood. Wanted. Let's go platinums. Are $4 or $5. Yeah, I'd rather have a playset for 15 than get one at 200. Diabellstar, the Black Witch here is 123 for your QCs, which is not too bad. I actually do want to look at the Ultimate Rare and see if the ban list actually made that card go up. We're actually going to go in Yu-Gi-Oh here. Not at all. Not at all. $18. This card cannot hold 20, can it? Infernal Flame Banshee. This is another QC that people are looking at. I know there is also a way with Ryziel that can play this card as well. And because of how they got hit, perhaps they're putting this in the extra deck. They definitely have the room because of Abyss Dweller getting banned. So it's a 1-for-1 card here. And, Snake Eyes can play this as well, although I don't have it confirmed how well they play with this card because it's just been a while. I can't remember. I don't know if about you guys, but after you've been playing the game for decades, sometimes these formats mush together and you're like, was this card good this format? Was it good the other format? And there's also a little bit of Ashen hype going around. So yeah, $55, $70 here. We're actually going to look at the secrets here and see if there's any movement for those. Not really, but they're not on the highest listings. These ultras are $2, and you got your secrets at about $3 here. Not too bad. Again, definitely a beautiful looking card. You got Flamberg today at what, $27 here for your QC, going up to 34. Not bad. I actually got a Euro copy of this, and it looks beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. In fact, I should probably swap it with my friend who'd actually play this card. Because mine's gonna sit in a binder. He's actually gonna play it. I think he should have it a little more. But QCs are 25 today, going up to about 85, but nobody's paying 85. They're probably paying 20s on this. Could it sell at 50? Possibly, but no higher than that. You've got original Sinful Spoils. Now, this card's still banned, and I'm telling that for the goofies in the back, because this card is actually going up to $60, which is pretty insane. If you want this card, even though it's banned at 16, I mean, you could. Low listings. Maybe people speculate it next list. My problem with Snake Eyes is that it got too much back too fast. Something we're going to talk about later on is actually Tearlaments. I want to compare it a little bit to that, so I'll save that discussion for over here. We even have a funny little response I want to go over. Odd Eyes Arcari is $25 today as well. I mean, Monkey Board 1 to 3. I don't know if that really helps Pendulum too much, but I haven't been seeing Pendulum. I'm going to be seeing Pendulum in this format with Fiendsmith, which we're just going to go over this very quickly, guys, because I hate going over cards every market watch if they're the exact same. QCs are 165 today. Your tracks are 130. They were 133 yesterday, so still about the same price. Your Requiems are going up even higher. I think this card was 70 yesterday, about 71. And yeah, as you could tell, more and more sales. Tracked is 57, going up to 68. Very ridiculous. Engravers are 27, going up to 34. So they're not the $50 that some people want to buy them for. Again, we get this card in a couple days. Just be patient. Requiems are $21. And then Lordy Load. Now, a lot of people were discussing what the best decks were in the room. And while people could say it's Malice, oh, it's still Ryziel, all this, Primite, especially Primite Blue Eyes, has definitely won the list pretty hard, seeing how it did not get hit, which a lot of people knew it wasn't going to get hit, but a lot of people did not factor in that, hey, if we have this as a good meta deck and all the other meta decks get hit, this can maybe take a higher spot, you know, a second or a first possibly. $53 today. I mean, people are waiting for that Battles of Legends reprint in 2 months. That's confirmed. The QCs are 130 today. This was 25 for a QC at one point, which is so funny. Drill beams are $5-6 here, but the QC is bought out. Literally, the only person here listed is me at $100. No, I did not buy this out. I actually got to pick this up, and I was like, you know what? I probably don't want this because I really was thinking about switching my deck to Blue Eyes because of Malice, because I knew the Malice, just in case the Malice hits were bad. And while I don't want to switch off Malice, I am a little annoyed at how many hits there were for Malice. Not a Shifter, of course. Shifter is a card that, if anything, they actually forgot to hit one more copy of. But I was thinking about switching to Blue Eyes, and then I thought maybe nah. And then I saw this, and I was like, yeah, okay, all right. Ether Barrel here, Ultras are $33, 35. So they're back up to those 30s. People want to play Blue Eyes. It is what it is. We have some other cards here as well. We got Tearlaments. I actually did not know I had 2 random spaces here. Ultis are $18, going up to 20. In fact, this is more on lower listings. A lot of people like to play the tier mirrors, so they're getting their ultis. This card was as cheap as, $10 here. Why this spike up? I personally think it's because one of the feature matches, I believe, at YCS, Houston actually had Tearlament being 5-0. And again, that was the last format, technically, because today's the first day of the new format, or second day because it's Tuesday. I filmed this Monday night. So if it could be 5-0 last format, hey, you can easily play this at locals and win. I'll tell you that. Maybe even a regional. But people have now started discussing, hey, should we put the tier names back maybe to 2? And to that, I say, as someone who does not like tier limit format, I get that it can be a very skillful format. Obviously, you're somewhat dependent on the mills at times, but people like it because of the skill expression, the way it plays. The mirror's fun. Heck, I've played the mirror, and while I don't love it like everybody else, it is pretty fun. I did like it a lot, but not I want to play this chess for 9 months type fun. But if Poplar and Ash could go to 2 as quick as they did, I really think that maybe they should start taking those names for Tearlament and maybe start putting them to 2 and kind of see what happens there. I still think this deck has a very high ceiling. I still think this deck is pretty strong, especially when you give it its names back. But I said what I have to say is, if I have to see Snake Eye, I'll see a little bit of Tearlament. Rukalis here is about 11, 12 bucks here, going up to like, 15 bucks right over there. There's this funny little tweet from Jordan Gallagher. I think this is a really stupid opinion. Farfetch'd tweet about how the feature match for Tearlaments has done irreplaceable damage to the Yu-Gi-Oh brand, and I cannot stop laughing at this. Before we even discuss that, I want to read this really stupid comment. If you don't enjoy tier mirrors, right, which, by the way, oh, you didn't enjoy a format? Cool, right? I like, you know what format I like? Edison. Hat, right? I want to play more redo format until I get my opinion on that, right? I love toss format, but there's formats I don't like. But if you don't enjoy my personal format, I beg, go play another game. Man, I love Yu-Gi-Oh players who are like, wow, Yu-Gi-Oh is going to die, and then they tweet out stupid shit like this. This was peak engine versus engine mirror gameplay. I'll tell you this, while a lot of people will consider Tearlaments the peak, it is also one of the biggest reasons why a lot of players, especially casual players, either left the game, took a break, or was like, oh, after tier format Snake Eye happened, I couldn't deal with it, right? Because I think Tearlaments has done damage to the Yu-Gi-Oh brand more than people thought it has. A place where we aspire to reach again, in my opinion. So, okay. Hopefully not, all right? You want peak gameplay and you want to aspire for good gameplay? Sure. Not matches decided by 20 non-engine slots. Okay, so you can't play through hand traps. Cool. There are plenty of other TCGs for you to play. This was peak UI Joe. Sorry. No, you're not sorry. Again, this is a competitive player, so I guess he obviously you're going to love whatever peak of Yu-Gi-Oh is. It wasn't tier in my opinion, and to say people go play another game if you don't enjoy the tier mirrors, I mean, that's just really stupid. Absolutely dumb. Yu-Gi-Oh is a very skillful, and it is also a very expressive game, and if we can only play, it could be tier, it could be anything else. That's why I don't like tier 0 formats. If you have to only play one deck, and that's all that is in the room, I don't think that's a good spot for any game to be. Just like how in fighting games, there's only there's like an SS rank character, and everyone else is like B tier, right? It's not good. It's just very stupid. So I wanted to show that off. Follow my Twitter, by the way. And then totally awesome here, Quarter Century Bonanza. 20 bucks here. This should have been hit instead of Bahamut. I really don't like how they took Bahamut away from Sharks, especially with, how they've been getting more and more popularity. Toad is a card that we can see be a problem again in the future. And if it is, people are going to call for the ban, and then it's just going to be something. So I feel like if that does happen, I'm not shocked. Again, my biggest problem with Toad isn't that it's just also a +1. Essentially, when it leaves the field, or it just pluses you 1 when it leaves the field, but it puts whatever board breaker or whatever you decide to use into it to your opponent's board. It definitely does add a layer of complexity to breaking a board with Totally Awesome. Don't get me wrong here. But when your opponent's sitting on 2 of these, and then you have to use 2 of your best cards, especially in let's say a format where, let's say, you have to use your Fiendsmith engine to maybe bait something out, especially if they have 2 of this card. And your opponent's also playing Fiendsmith, so they get, their engine on board from you and negating yours. It kind of sucks, personally. And Abyss Dweller's our last card of the day. Why not? Show the band man himself. Ultis, same price. QCs are what, $5? Yeah, $6 and probably going a lot lower. This is definitely a card that people are going to speculate will come off the ban list in whoever knows how many years or months. So maybe in, say, a few weeks or so, 2-3 weeks, whatever, you want this for your band binder, which I always love having a card for my band. I already got my Ulti Dweller from when OTS 13 came out, actually. So I've always had my Dweller put in my band binder, so not only do I always have it, but if it starts ever going up because people speculate it, doesn't matter if it does or not, I got my copy. With that being said, guys, smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.